Happy Friday, everybody. I am thrilled to see you. Aren't you glad this damn week is over? I have got the best guest today, and he will absolutely blow your mind. He has got the maverick energy. This is Sajad Hussain, who, as you can see, is not a fake ass business coach. Sajad is going to give you a lot of tips today, you all, about taking control of your business and your life so that you can become extremely well organized, so you can relieve your stress, dramatically reducing it, and so that you can also significantly increase your productivity. So you don't want to miss it. Plus, he's just a lot of fun. Now, he's like the man, right? Great hat. Love your hat, Sajad. So I'm going to read you all like the serious bio here, just so you can have, he's a former attorney. This dude is smart. So I'm going to read you that, and then we're going to jump right in. He is our featured guest, and he's a persevering entrepreneurial pricing. How about that? Top performing executive and a former attorney with expertise in vision setting, project oversight, development and compliance, internal and external communications, relationships management, legal and policy review, resource and people management, community outreach, and organizing. All right, I need to take my asthma thing now after that long sentence. You can tell, smart dude. He's highly sought after as a mentor and coach, a sounding board for ideas and key advising. And I'll tell you, he's a thought leader. So Sajad, welcome to Bold Badass Women in Business.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
So tell us, just for a second, now we're going to get into our stuff, but you are a mountain owner, right? I want you to tell people a little bit about your mountain, if you would.
So I bought 5 acres of land on the border of New Mexico and Arizona right before the mountain. I did claim the mountain, but then the locals told me the Native Americans would get very angry if I did that. So I still kind of claim it, but mostly privately, except all over social media. And I think it's state land, but I own the land right before the mountain. And then here's what happened: somebody on TikTok made fun of me and said, "Oh, big baller, this guy has 5 acres out west." So then I bought another 5 acres because that guy hurt my feelings. And he was right. 5 acres is not a lot of land out in Arizona. It's a lot of land in Chicago. Also, I bought the 5 acres right before it becomes state territory, so nobody can block the mountain.
Love it.
It's called Mount Sajad.
Oh, imagine that. What an original name. I love that. Why name a star when you can buy a mountain and name it after yourself? I love that. And actually, Sajad, I think you ought to have an effigy of your face carved into the side of your mountain at some point. I'm just going to say that.
That sounds very white of you.
It does, right? And I find it interesting that you assume that I'm white. But you're not.
No, it's a very white thing to carve.
It's just a white thing to do. Yeah.
To carve your name into your face into a mountain.
There you go. And just immortalize yourself as part of the hegemony, just do that. I can see it now. So I know that you're no BS. And that's what I love about you. It's like, you call people out, which I do too. I piss off a lot of people, Sajad, especially in my programs, because that's part of our role, is to get people out of their comfort zone, to get them out of those stuck places. So I want you to tell them a little bit what you say about your program, because I love it. What you say about your program, your 6-week boot camp.
Well, I'm laid back and easygoing and extremely humble.
Get done.
That's the most important thing to understand here, if nothing else. I'm going to run you through a 6-week business development boot camp where I'm going to beat you with a freaking stick. I'm going to ignore your stupid feelings, and you're going to hate me for 6 weeks. You're going to be in love with me in 4 months from now. I'm assuming that's what you're asking for.
That was what I wanted you to say. I think that's so cool. And, we're not talking about the stick that Gandhi was talking about, but you're going to get it out of them. In other words, you're going to help people be accountable to themselves and their dreams. and you're not a fake ass business coach. So for a second, let me ask you, what's a fake ass business coach? How would you define that?
So two major things. Number one is the first thing they should be teaching you is how to show massive value, how to pitch. And pitch has become a bad word. To pitch means to concisely and clearly articulate massive value. And if that's not what they're going to teach you first, then they're automatically a fraud. Because if you don't know how to do that, you're not going to make any money. And then a thought I had, or a concept shared with me from Suzanne Taylor King this week, was people looking outside of themselves. So people that tell you, if you just write a book, if you just create a funnel, if you just create lead gen, all that stuff is bullshit. The problem is you. So what you need to fix is you. So if you say, I just need investment capital, or I just need the right connections, that means you don't know how to show massive value. So if you're hiring people because you like them, that is really stupid. You should ask them 3 questions. Have they ever created and ran a successful business before, which I have with a law firm and a tech company?
Let's pause. Do number 1 again. This is powerful. Before you hire and get a fake ass business coach, these are the questions you want to use to vet them. Give it to us again. This is gold, Sajad. This is like better than gold. This is no fool's gold.
What's that called, that fake gold? Anyways, is it called fool's gold?
Yeah.
Have they ever done what they're purporting to do? So it's like you should not hire a poor person as your financial advisor. You should not hire a unhealthy personal trainer to teach you how to be healthy. You should consider the source of the information. So if they have not done it before, I know they got all these certifications, or most of my clients are women. They say, well, I hired her because she had a lot of money. That shit does not matter at all. What matters is, have they done it before? And secondly, not just have they created a successful coaching program before, have they created a successful business before? Talk to their clients before you hire them. When people say, I want to talk to your clients, that's my favorite thing in the world. I had one guy a year and a half ago. I've been doing this 10 years now. He said, may I talk to your former clients? I said, absolutely. 5 days later, he DM'd me and he said, I give up. And I said, cool. He said, how do I send you your money? So talk to their former clients. And then what specifically
I want to pause you. I'm going to pause you because that's amazing. That's something people don't do. They look at these testimonials. You shouldn't just trust the testimonials. Ask to talk to the person who leaves the testimonial on the website, so that you can ask about the specific things you want to have happen in your business and see what the results have been for that person. Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, 4% of my clients fail because they can't close deals. I'll even let you talk to them because they'll still tell you I was worth way more money than what I charged. It wasn't my fault that they weren't successful. They were given everything they needed within 6 weeks, not 6 months, not a year. And there's no funnel. I don't charge $2,000 and then that's the intro thing. And then I charge $6,000. That's now you're starting to get it. Then I charge $12,000. You got to pay the $12,000 because that's where you really learn how to close. And it really upsets me. 95% of my clients have been hired by fake ass business coaches before hiring me. For between $5,000 and $40,000, they've been ripped off. So don't look outside yourself. The issue is you. And if the person you're working with doesn't tell you, if they say there's an easy way to make a lot more money, or they tell you just need a funnel or an email campaign, lead gen, or a book or whatever, and then you're going to get rich, they're lying to you. And what you're doing subconsciously is wanting to take the easy way out. You don't want to take self-accountability. The real problem is you. And then thirdly, what are they specifically going to teach you? So I'm going to teach you branding, pitching, packages, and processes, activity versus productivity, ROI and CAC, mapping, which is strategy, negotiations and closing deals, and the 3 keys to success as an entrepreneur, which is the mentality part. It's coaching and consulting. But my clients hire me, and then in week 2 of my program, they like 100% of them say, Why didn't I learn any of this in any of these other programs? And my
Mm.
question back is, what did you ask them before you paid them the money?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
What
The answer is
specifically are
only
you
going
going to
to be
learn?
as good as the question, right? The answer you get in life is only as good as the questions you ask. And so if somebody's just asking, well, was it a good experience? The boot camp, that's not anything. But when you're results oriented and I am too. And when somebody's sharing their results, you can't argue with that, right? And even as you pointed out, those people who don't get the results, because I have those people too, man. It's like that old adage that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, some people are just they're gonna be that horse, or some people would say horse's ass, right? Some people are not gonna really commit to their dreams because it is too hard. It's hard. It requires work, you know?
And taking
It
100% self accountability. You got to blame
Yes.
yourself for everything.
I
It's
love
not
that.
it's not that you can't do it, it's that you're not doing it. If it doesn't
Mhm.
pay all your bills, you don't have a business, you have a hobby, and you need to stop lying to yourself. It's not somebody else's fault.
That's amazing, Sajad. If it's not paying your bills, you have a hobby, not a business, and you're lying to yourself. I see these people, as I'm sure you do. I see them networking, and it's like they've made networking into their business, right? But they're not making any money. They're going to the networking events. They don't have a system for follow through. They're not intentional about, here's why I'm going to the event. I want to swap Facebook lives with someone, or I want to get included in a book compilation. They're not specific about what they're looking for. It's just like, let me just throw a dart, let me cover my eyes and I'll throw a dart and hope I hit a bullseye. That doesn't work.
I think they are specific what they're looking for, which are the wrong things.
Oh, I like that. All right. So what are the wrong things they're looking for?
Well, here's new age feminism at work, which I disagree with. It's all about no like and trust, go
Mm,
giver, and
mm,
it's all about relationships. So we talked about this the other day. They go
yeah.
into the meeting and they're talking about the freaking cat. What they don't want to do is two major things. They don't want to ever make anybody uncomfortable, and they want everybody to like them. They're, like you said, people pleasers. That won't
Yep.
make you any money. And they I forget the college term. It's a two-word phrase for it, but it's where you watch the news that reinforces your already your beliefs already. And so they say, oh, it's all about relationships. So then they go to all these meetings and then they do these one-on-ones. They never offer to sell anything. The reason they never
Yep.
offer to sell anything is because then they will never get rejected and everybody will
Mm-hmm.
like them and nobody will ever be uncomfortable. Well, you're broke right now. You're making 30 grand a year, 50 grand a year. You're broke.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you're broke is because you got the wrong mentality of what this is. This is if this is your business, and it's only a business if it pays all your bills, otherwise it's a hobby, then this is your job. Your job is the number one job is not to help people or serve people. It's to make money. And then after you make money, then you provide the good service. But first you have to make money. So the mentality is all screwed up. No like and trust, go giver. Not that I'm even against that, but the concept has been manipulated by those who choose not to actually try to sell anything.
Exactly. Like it's a cop out. I'm just going to give my time. I'm going to give to this person. But we've got to be making offers. And what I like to say to my clients is, if you're not making offers, you're absolutely being self-centered and selfish, because somebody needs what you've got. They've needed it for a long time. And in your case, in my case, somebody's making that shitty little 30K a year, right? I've been that somebody, by the way, when I first started my business years and years ago, 22.5 years ago. And I needed somebody who was going to kick my tail and say, look, don't wait till you're over a decade in business to hire a business coach. Get your business coach now, make the investment now, and don't get a fake ass business coach. Just don't. Ask these questions. You've given us great questions, like, what specifically are you going to teach me? Has this business coach actually done what they say they're going to help you do? Have they walked over the hot coals, and now do they know how to get across, and are they going to help you get there? Or is it a bunch of platitudes that they're sharing, like the KLTR? And I add R to it, Sajad. I add R for respect. Okay. And I do believe that people do want to know us. But as you point out, our number one job is to make money. If we don't make money, we're not staying in business. And if we don't stay in business, this passionate mission, that whatever you feel is on your heart that you want to give to the world, it ain't happening. It really upsets me. I know I'm going off for a second, but it really upsets me when I hear somebody who's about to give up on their business, or someone who's working another job because their business is shit. And so we're here to make sure that somebody doesn't have to do that. Now, maybe they might choose to do it strategically in front of their ideal target audience, like work a part-time job as they first build their business. They might choose to do that strategically. Had a massage therapist who completely built her business just by being a receptionist for an acupuncturist and making offers. She built and overfilled her schedule. Then did she stay as the receptionist? Heck no, she got the heck out. Right? But people aren't strategic. So I love what you're saying about networking. And you all, I want you to put in the comments here. I want no voyeurism, no peeping Toms or peeping Thomasinas on here, y'all. Dot, thank you for commenting. I want you to put, what do you want to gain when you go in for networking? What are your intentions when you go in for networking? Go ahead and pop it up in the chat so we can see it. Are you going in to socialize? Or are you going in, well, let me be a contrarian and make somebody think about something, the fact that they need what I have to offer? Are you making offers when you go in? Or are you just going in and, as you point out, Sajad, talking about your cat, which I have to admit, I'm guilty of that. I talk about, we have 4 rescue animals. I talk about them. They're my babies.
You got to watch Bill Burr's joke on rescue animals.
Oh, Lord. What does he say?
You didn't rescue anything. You did not run into a burning building and pull out a cat. You went to the pound and paid $300. That's not a rescue.
It's not a rescue. But actually, our last cat, man, he was eating out of trash cans at a gas station when they got him. And
maybe that's a rescue.
He was 6.5 pounds. Do you know how much this cat weighs now after like 2 months with us? I hate to admit it. 12 pounds. 12 pounds. He's like a helium balloon. All right. So you have talked about, if it's not a business, it's a hobby. If you're not making enough money to pay all your bills and have extra, right? That's not a business. And there's no shame in making money in a business. If you don't, the lights will be out and you won't be in business. You also wanted to talk a little bit about pitching, I believe. And I think this is really important. People don't know how to pitch. So tell us more about this.
Well, that's considered a bad word now, so let's define what that means first. It means to concisely and clearly articulate massive value. So I met with a woman a month ago. 1 minute form rapport. This is how you run a 30-minute meeting. 1 minute business meeting. That's what this is, a business meeting. 1 minute form rapport, 2 minute add value. Look at their LinkedIn, look at their website, and first ask permission. Hey, Dr. Brown, I looked at your website and your LinkedIn. Can I provide some feedback? Add value for 2 minutes. 8 minutes they pitch. 8 minutes you pitch, incorporating their specific needs in an interwoven way. And then you have 11 minutes to close the deal. So I met with this woman. I told her to pitch me. She didn't. I pitched. And then halfway into my pitch, I said, are you bored? Because I have emotional intelligence. She said, no. Then at the end of my pitch, she said, I was bored. So I said, well, you should have told me that halfway through, which my pitch is very exciting. So I don't know why she was bored. But then at the end of the meeting, I said, okay, I've got 5 great connects for you. Because if you meet with me, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm going to add massive value, and then I'm going to connect you with really good people. And she said, well, do you really know what I do? And it was, we had 1 minute left in the meeting. So I just said, yeah, sure, whatever. I did not know what she did because she never freaking told me what she did. And then she emailed me a couple days later asking me if I wanted to hire her and pay her $500 an hour for LinkedIn. I asked her, how many comments and reactions do you get? because I'm currently on a lifetime ban from LinkedIn for my fourth time, but I was
Yep.
getting 27,500 views per day. So I'm not going to hire somebody who I completely outperform. So pitching is, here's how you pitch. You have these 3 packages. What are
Mm-hmm.
the 5 added values of each package? Package A, package B, package C. And then what are the logistics? So what does it look like when somebody hires you? Take the potential client and put them in the shoes of somebody that's already working with you. The most important thing is to start with an emotional connect. People buy in the subconscious based upon emotion. They don't buy based upon logic. So don't say, my name is Dr. Brown and here's what I do and here's how I do it. Nobody cares about your name. Nobody cares about.
Thank you. Hallelujah. Yes. Wait, I just have to say hallelujah. I'm getting the amen corner going here. But yes, I'm so sick of that. Everybody's like, hi, I'm Dr. Barnsley Brown and I'm a coach, speaker, and blah, blah, blah. No, start with an interesting question or a statistic or something that perks their ears up.
Start with an emotional connection. So I
Yes.
help by becoming extremely well organized, you significantly increase your productivity and substantially reduce your stress. I'm going to run you through a 6-week business development bootcamp. Start with the emotional connect. Don't say I help or or what you said. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. Here's how I do it. Start with the emotional connection because people buy in the subconscious based upon emotion, not logic. Then have your 3 packages, package A, package B, package C, the 5 added values of each package, and then the logistics. What does it look like when somebody hires you? Put the potential in the client in the shoes of somebody that's already working with you.
And make them the hero there. Make them the hero there. When you put them in the shoes, how is it going to feel in 6 weeks when you've gotten back 3 hours in your week that you can just spend, painting or whatever it is you want to do with your family, Make that person the hero. I love this. Yeah, this is great, Sajad, because the emotional is people buy because they're in pain and they buy because they have an emotional connection that usually in pain, I would say. What do you think about that?
That makes me think of Shark Tank. Don't try selling something nobody wants to buy. 90% of my clients, when they're in week 1 with me, because I teach them how to branding, pitching, packages, and processes in week 1, after they pitch me, I say, would you buy that? And 90% of them say no. So if you record what you are selling, ask yourself, would you buy that? Would you buy what you are selling?
Love that. So this is homework for you all. Oh yeah, there's my recovering academic coming up. But homework for you, everyone watching, is record yourself. I don't type and talk at the same time. Well, Sajad, homework is, oh, did we lose him? Where did he go? Homework is, he will come back in. Homework is, and ask, there he is. You're back. Woohoo. That was magic.
I got thrown out.
I know. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just hit that button.
I've been thrown out of better places, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you have. I have too. So homework, pitch and record yourself and then watch it and ask yourself, would I buy this? Yeah. And that requires us to really be honest, with ourselves, because we can lie to ourselves. I don't know about you. I've found I can lie to myself about a lot of stuff, like my productivity, for example, like how much I'm making, unless I track it. That's why I have in my Make It Happen Mastermind, we have tracking systems that we do daily and we do weekly and we do monthly and we do quarterly, because there's a reason. If you don't track it, it can't grow. If you don't track it, you won't even know it grows, if it happens to grow. So I know you've got lots of processes and you're really big on standard operating procedures. So talk a little bit about that to our business owners. What are some of the standard operating procedures that you see people don't have in place and are therefore their worst problem? They are their worst problem because they don't have them.
Well, there's a lot of them. One of them is there's So coaching is on the mindset part, consulting is on the practical skills. I heard that a couple months ago at a networking event.
Nice.
So the mentality is wrong, like I already stated and discussed. It's this is business, this is your job, this is work. So unless you're playing around and you don't care how much money you make, this is your job, and it's only your job if it pays all your bills. Again, so standard operating procedure: how to run a business meeting, which I already stated.
Would you go over that again? Because that was awesome, Sajad. I loved that. Do it again. And I was so impressed when you and I met and you were ready and gave me feedback on my website. I was like, man, this guy's sharp. So
Thank you. So let's start there because that's first. The most important thing to do before you meet with somebody is to research somebody for 30 minutes to an hour first. So when you hire me, I give you a sheet that teaches you how to research people. But look at their LinkedIn, look at their website. Is their first line, their tagline on LinkedIn and Emotional Connect, is the first line on their website in Emotional Connect? Or does it start out with some bullshit? My name is blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Then also, I'll stick with LinkedIn. I'll go to the website. LinkedIn, is the about section forward facing? Does it talk about how they serve other people, or does it look like a CV? Having your LinkedIn like a resume, having your about section on LinkedIn look like a resume is like having a Yahoo email address. It looks like you're 80 years old. It's very outdated. Do you have the link? Do you have the Emotional Connect at the top of your website, top of your LinkedIn? Is creator mode turned on LinkedIn, where you have the 5 hashtags most relevant to your business? 3 recommendations show up on LinkedIn on a phone, on a cell phone, at least an iPhone. When are your last 3 recommendations from? Are they relevant to your current business? One of the dumbest things, or 2 of the dumbest things I see, are really outdated recommendations on LinkedIn,
yeah,
and people that put their high school diploma on LinkedIn too. If you have a college degree, a master's degree, a PhD, as Dr. Brown has, why are you still celebrating your high school? It looks ridiculous to
I
me.
put my high school too because I want to hear from those people, Sajad, because they're doing amazing shit. So that anyway, that I'm
It's
just going to be contrarian to that for
it's
you. I
not
want them to find me.
it's not Facebook, and it looks ridiculous. On your website, do you start with the Emotional Connect?
I
And
love how we
then
can agree and still like each other.
Kristen Spencer and I with polarizing networking are the same way.
Yeah, we're
She's
going to talk about that in a second. Don't let me forget.
okay. She's wrong about pretty much everything, but I got a lot of respect for her. She believes in all this new age feminism bullshit too. So on the website, 10 years ago when I had my tech company, 90% of people never leave the front page of the website. So does it have the Emotional Connect,
Yeah.
3 packages with the added values, and the logistics? I researched this 2 weeks ago. 76% of people, from what I could find, never leave the front page of a website. So is all the information you want a potential client to see on that? So that's how you research somebody. And then here's how you run a business meeting. Make sure your Calendly questions, you have 9 Calendly questions. Make sure one of them is how did they find you?
Mm-hmm.
What is the purpose of meeting with you? What is
Mm-hmm.
the current status of their business?
Yep.
What barriers are they currently facing? And what does outrageous success look like for them in 6 months from now? So
Awesome.
that you have all the data on where they're at and where they're going, what they're looking for, and the problems that they're facing. You want to solve, like you said a few minutes ago. You want to solve people's problems. The bigger problems you provide, the bigger solutions you provide to people's biggest problems, the pain, the more money you're going to make.
And the
So
more people you're going to be able to help after you make more money, y'all. Don't
yeah,
forget, you got to make money or you're not doing what you're here to do. You got to.
everything about my business is about helping people. The first thing I'm trying to do is make money, get the deal done, then I help the people, right? First, you got to make money. Your intention has to be clear. So back to standard operating procedures. How to pitch is a standard operating procedure. How to research people is a standard operating procedure that I
Mhm.
teach. And then how to run business meetings. 1 minute form report. Dr. Brown, you got a PhD and not one of those fake ones. What was it that you studied? Oh, women's studies in Black history. Okay. Oh, I see you
No,
moved.
Black literature, African American literature.
Oh, my fault. I
Yeah,
knew it when we met, though.
you're good.
Um,
Yeah, you did. You sure did.
um, so, oh, you played tennis in high school. Oh, you moved around a lot. Was your family in the military? Whatever it is. 1 minute, form rapport, not 29 minutes of
Yes.
forming rapport. 2 minutes, add value. You've researched people. So now the main thing here is you got to ask permission to provide feedback. Dr. Brown, I checked out your website and your LinkedIn. Is it okay with you if I provide some feedback? Because the subconscious is adolescent. people
Yes.
people hate unsolicited advice. They'll feel disrespected and insulted. So you got to ask permission first, which I did with you and I do with everybody
You
else.
sure do. And it's super important. You want that person wanting it,
Yeah,
and if they don't want it, I've had people say no. And if they
yeah,
don't want it, I'm not giving it.
yeah. Well, when you offered me advice or said, "Would you like advice?" I said maybe. So the subconscious is adolescent. I respect you. Otherwise, I would have said no. The subconscious is adolescent. When you offer advice, unsolicited advice, it says no, 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 no. When you ask for permission and they say sure, then that shuts up that voice in the
Yep.
back of the head, right? So two
Yep.
minutes add value. 8 minutes they pitch. Whoever talks first loses. So you want to be collecting data. You're collecting data when you're researching them. You're collecting data on your Calendly questions, and you're collecting
Mhm.
data by having them speak first. Whoever speaks first loses. So when they're speaking, you take little handwritten notes because when you're pitching, you need to incorporate their specific needs in an interwoven way into your pitch. If you're pitching people and they say that sounds good, that means you're doing a terrible fucking job. They should be saying, they should be saying, that sounds like it was made for me, or I
Mhm.
need to hire you. That means that you've incorporated their specific needs into your presentation of what you provide. You're probably doing a horrible job. If you do what I just said, you will increase your sales by 90%
I
by
love it.
incorporating their specific needs in an interwoven way, asking the right questions on your calendar survey, researching people before you meet with them. Standard operating procedure. One more. I'll give you one more.
Wait, and you also said whoever talks first loses,
Yeah.
which is true in negotiation too. After you state, they say when they want it, and you state your here's the two, and they ask, how much it is or whatever, you state your tuition, and then shut up, zip it, and smile.
Never state the price of your services on your website or during a meeting until somebody asks for it. When
Yeah.
they ask for it, that means they're ready to buy. When you state the price, say it in a grown man's voice, in a deep man's voice. $10,000.
So I
Then,
need to say $10,000.
yeah, just like that. And then shut your stupid mouth
Yeah.
because anything you say after that sounds like you're rationalizing the price.
But there's one caveat. You said when someone asks you the price, they're ready to buy. Well, that's after you've had the value discussion. If somebody comes in and they're like, "Oh, Sajad, tell me right off the bat, how much is your 6-month, 6-week reboot?" No, 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 no. You don't give the price. You say, "Well, why do you ask that question? What's going on in your business that you would like to reboot?"
Yeah, I've had that happen several times before.
Yeah,
There's
never,
no way
ever, ever.
no way I'm giving you the price of my program until we talk about the value I add, because all you're going to think about is the price as opposed to the value.
I'm putting this up in the chat, and I there's so much you've given us so far, and I want to just capture this stuff here. And there've been some really great, Dot says, love that. Coaching is on the logic side, consulting is on the practical side. Yeah, you've just given us so many gems here. Only. Okay, good. So standard operating procedures, the pitch, how to run the 30-minute meeting. I love that you called it a 30-minute meeting. Do you know I call my complimentary sessions 25-minute meetings? And I do that because people are too used to 30-minute meetings, and I want to shake it up. And I want to make sure they're on time. I want to make sure they understand it's 25. Sometimes we do go over, I will admit, but I want them to understand. So one thing I like about you, Sajad, and is that you speak your mind, and you're a contrarian. You don't toe the line in business. You don't do the stuff that other people say. You find the gaps. and you fill them in with something novel. You fill them in with something that's going to make people think. So what about gap analysis when you're coming in? Like, I've got my clients right now doing gap analysis on all their marketing materials, all the problems they've had. They're looking at the problems they're having with their clients, and they're figuring out what gaps are there, because guess who's to blame? They are. As you said earlier, we're to blame for everything in our business. So if something isn't going the way we want, we are the source, and we're also with expert help. So what about gap analysis? How much of what you do involves that?
I don't think I've ever heard that term of art before. What it triggers for me is the idea of people sitting there. I don't like. I think I believe in taking massive action. So
Yes.
reading, creating, analyzing, ruminating. People hire me because they want to make a lot of money really fast. And those are not money-making activities. I'd say way too many people spend way too much time analyzing and thinking about what's going to work best instead of trying to do and then learning. So I think by doing is the best way to learn. I do think you should analyze if what you're doing is working or not.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, because we've had some situations with some difficult clients. My clients have had some really difficult clients, and so we're figuring out how to prevent that from happening ever again.
Well, you're probably not asking the right questions. I turn down more than 50% of the people that want to hire me. My ex-girlfriend was somebody that potentially wanted to hire me. And then she said she didn't care that much about money. And I said, well, I'm not going to work with you. She said, why not? I said, because you're not money driven. But she was brilliant and beautiful. So then I dated her. But she wasn't money driven. And if you don't want to make a lot of money, I don't want to work with you. You don't have to be, but even if you're making 100,000, you got to want to make 300,000,
Right.
Otherwise I'm not the right person for you, because I'm going to have you focused on money-making activities.
Yeah. And I have my folks, I call it RGAs, revenue generating activities. Most people don't even know what the RGAs are in their businesses. They don't even know, So they have to put every morning in our text stream, minimum three RGAs that they're going to complete that day. And I know you have a system of accountability too that you use. You have them actually. Tell us a little bit about mapping out what you map out with people.
Well, it's a multitude of things here within my program there, and it's kind of another standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
And everybody should try applying this. And Dr. Brown, I'll give you the link for the 4-minute video on it. This is the main thing people get out of my program, the essential thing, which is disappointing because I teach so many major concepts, but this is the main value they all say they get out of it, which is the self-accountability, becoming your own boss. So every night before you go to sleep, create a to-do list hour by hour with quantifiable measurements. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., you said you're sending emails. Are you sending 3 emails or are you sending 30 emails? You have an employee named Mike. You're paying Mike $200,000 a year. Now you look at your schedule. What questions would you be asking your employee? So taking yourself out of yourself to look at yourself, really be your own boss in a very critical and crucial way of examining the ROI of what you're doing with every day. After you create the schedule, you have to stick strictly to the schedule. Mm-hmm. You cannot chase shiny objects or squirrels. You cannot go down rabbit holes. You got to be just as hard on yourself as you would on an employee that you're paying $200,000. This is
I love that, Sajad. Yes.
This is the number one thing that my clients struggle with. People struggle with holding themselves. I had a client yesterday ask me, well, I'm walking from one networking event to another. Do I consider that work time? And I said, if you had an employee named Mike, which she's heard a million times in the last 24 hours, she said, I don't want to hear that shit again. I want a short answer. So I said, my short answer is fucking no. That is not work. Walking is not work. Reading is not work. Researching is not work. Analyzing is not work.
Yep.
Creating is not work. Those are not, this is why you people are broke. These are not money-making activities. You need to take yourself out of yourself to look at yourself. The standard operating procedure, create the to-do list hour by hour with quantifiable measurements for the next day, and then stick strictly to the schedule. Hold yourself accountable like you were your own employee. Stop being so easy on yourself. You are a liar. You are lying to yourself. And the rich people are the ones that are most critical of themselves. The people that do the best, my best friend has 2 medical doctorate degrees. He's got he's a pediatric surgeon and a psychotherapist. He was staying at my house for a couple months 4 years ago, and I was deputy chief of staff for the state of Illinois with the Department of Children's Services. I was running a tech company, and I had my law firm going. And he's a double medical doctorate. And we're sitting there, and I put Les Brown on. You got to be hungry.
Yes.
And we're having some drinks and watching Les Brown. And he looked at me, he says, Sajad, can you pause it? I said, sure. I said, what's up? He said, do you think we lack in motivation? But the people that need the most amount of help are the ones that are least likely to ask for help. The dumbest people are the ones that ask the least amount of questions. The highest level achievers are the ones that are most critical on themselves. That's why you have a PhD and I have a doctorate degree, because it's always driving to do better. And even if we have plenty of money, we're still trying to do better, not just for the money, but it's the hustle of how much better can we do?
Self-realization.
And self-accountability.
So I heard something today. Yeah, absolutely. And accountability to a group. All right. Too. Having a group that will cheer you on, a group that will say, yes, you got this. All right, take action, do it now. Having that is important. I find that that's one of the biggest things people talk about in my program, is because they've always got access. Guess what? They've always got access to me on the phone. They may send something at 2 a.m. I'm up, taking a pee-pee, and I will answer. Why? Because I don't let people fall through the cracks unless they are determined to do that, in which case I can't do anything for them, right? And neither can you. So I love what you're saying about the hour to-do list with a quantifiable measure. We track, we have percentages. There's no way to lie to yourself in my program, and it sounds like there's no way to lie to yourself in yours either, right? You get terribly uncomfortable, right, when you lie to yourself.
I had a client last night who was struggling with her self-confidence. I said, you will not fail. I don't let losers hire me. You will not fail. I will kill you. I will kill you before you fail. So don't worry about failing. I won't let you. And then today she texted me and needed something minor. I'm going to call her after this presentation.
Yeah.
Call me all the time. I'm available. I don't take off on weekends. I don't celebrate the white man's holidays. 16 to 19
I love when you said that in a networking group. I was like, yes, hallelujah, hallelujah. I don't celebrate the white man's holidays either. Yep.
16 to 19 hours a day. I'm working. If you do what you love for a living, you're never working. What I'm doing doesn't feel like work at all. I'm having fun all the time. And this is a good point for anybody listening or watching. There's 24 hours in a day. If you sleep for 8, that leaves 16. So if you work for 12, that leaves you with 4 hours to fuck around every day.
Yeah.
If you think 12 hours of working on your business is a lot, you should go work at McDonald's. You don't have to work at McDonald's, but you should go get a job because you don't love what you do. I tell my clients, I told a client hired me yesterday, keep in mind, this is all for you, not for me. So if you get rich, that's good. If you don't, I still am. This is all for you. Got to love what you do. You can't say, "Oh my God, I'm working so much." I hate the fucking word busy. I don't like the word try, attempt, luck, hope, wish.
I don't use them.
Just work. It shouldn't feel like work though. I love what's happening right now talking to you, and this is my whole life.
Joyful.
Every single day I'm having fun. The journey is fun. And then when I land a client, that's great. But I enjoy the whole everything. Every presentation, 4 social media posts a day, presentations, podcasts, 3 online platforms, dealing with my clients, my online community, It's
Yeah.
all fun. It should be all fun. And if not, you're looking at it wrong, or you just shouldn't
You're
be
in the
doing it.
wrong thing. Yeah. So change your life, change your business if you're not loving it. I love that. So we could talk forever, Sajad. You and we could do like a 4 hour, and we would also be scintillating, wouldn't we?
I think we're very excited.
We are so scintillating.
I love us.
I love us too. We are scintillating, we are titillating, all of that stuff. I've always laughed at that word titillating, by the way. It just is like, oh,
I was wondering if that had to do with titties.
yeah, it could, but it's just fun. It's fun to say it in public, titillating, and just put a little accent on the first part. So you all, I want us to end with something powerful here, okay? And Sajad, I also want you to let them know. I know you have something complimentary, not free, because we don't want people who are cheap, right? We aren't cheap to work with. We get you the daggone results. How much is it worth to you to have a six-figure, multiple six-figure or more business, right? Is that worth it to you? Do you really want that? What would you do with all of that? Where would you go? Who would you help out? There's no BS here in the way we work with people. So you got to know, do I really want it? Am I committed or not? And if you're not committed, that's okay. You got a hobby. You don't have a business. You got a hobby. That's okay. If that's what you want, keep the hobby. But we work with businesses. So I want to talk for a second with you before you tell them about I almost said freebie, the complimentary exciting thing they get. Let's talk a second, just finish up here about activity versus productivity, because this is one of the biggest things that solopreneurs and small business owners don't get. Activity doesn't mean you're productive. So tell us about this.
We're going to have to do another workshop together, or a presentation,
Yes.
whatever we're calling this, because that would be another 8 minutes. But I wanted to talk, if you don't mind, I want to talk about two things really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
People buy in the subconscious based upon emotion. They don't buy it based upon logic. Don't say free. Free in the subconscious means worthless. Say complimentary. So anywhere that you say free offer, say complimentary, not free. Free is a bad word. Also, I have an event called Polarizing Networking. So if you hate online networking, you can come to Polarizing Networking. Our get to know you question this week, we don't do that dumb shit. The rules for this week, we don't have any rules. Come to our event and pitch your business. PolarizingNetworking.com. If you believe in know, like, and trust, go giver, and it's all about relationships, you'll love my co-host, Kristen Spencer. She's brilliant and amazing and wrong about pretty much everything. So we have a 10-minute guest speaker, 5 minutes engagement with Kristen and I, 15
She's
minutes.
wrong about her co-host, Sajad.
No, he's an extremely sexy, humble genius.
Yeah. I love that.
We'll have to meet again to cover activity versus.
Yeah, we will. I mean, look, we could. Yeah, I know you and I are going to do a lot of stuff together. I think we got a good synergy going in what we care about, and there'll be other opportunities. And I know I'm going to be speaking for your Polarizing Networking and see how many people I can offend there. Right? That's
I think you're brilliant and cool and only wrong 5% of the time.
Well, that's not all bad. 5% isn't too bad. I mean,
close.
Hey,
that's basically love coming from me.
Well, really, I need to work on my, my self-confidence like you do, Sajad. Yeah.
I've been going to classes for the last 2 months. I'm starting to come out of my shell.
Yeah, I think I might be. I'm usually so demure. Everyone would tell you, the Southern Belle, so demure. Mm-hmm. Well, I hope those of you who are watching have gotten some laughs today, as well as
I don't know why you feel that way about yourself, though, because you're almost as smart and good looking as me.
I hope y'all have gotten some good laughs today, as well as this kick-ass information. Really, Sajad, you have given us so much good stuff here. So you all go to polarizingnetworking.com, sign up, and again, their breakout rooms, there's going to be a presentation, there'll be discussion, their breakout rooms. So it's not your ordinary networking. And don't you dare come there and just socialize, because we'll kick your ass, right, Sajad? We want you to
you're allowed to socialize. You're allowed to do what there's.
But not just to socialize.
No, you're allowed to do it. If you want to be an idiot and be broke, you can be an idiot and be broke. You can do anything you want. Say anything you want. It's complete freedom. The number one feedback, we started in January. We have 106 people registered for April 6th.
That's awesome.
You can do whatever you want. It's fun and it's freedom.
Well, I just want them to come in and not just be doing the old boring, let's get to know you for 30 minutes afterwards. I want you all, there is so much in here. You really need to watch this interview again. It's going to be posted. It's going over to 3 platforms. As you watch, those of you here, I want you to put some ahas here. Put your aha. What did you realize? Because there is some deep shit in this interview. What did you learn about accountability to yourself? What did you learn about the 30-minute meeting? What did you learn about networking that is something you never thought about? What did you learn? Put it in the ahas. Studies show if you actually write something, engage, not only will you inspire somebody else, but you'll actually implement something. And we don't want this just to be a time that we shoot the bull and amuse you and give you lots of info. We want this to be something where you're going to do homework. Remember, your homework is you're going to record yourself pitching, and then you're going to say, ooh, would I buy from that person? When you watch it, you can be like, ooh. So Sajad, I can't thank you enough. You are so much fun. I think I probably said shit more than I ever
have. May I say one more? I didn't.
Oh yeah, you had 2 things, right? Say one more thing. Go for it.
Well, to your point, Dr. Brown, there are no stupid questions. There are only stupid people. Stupid people don't ask questions. So ask your questions. Don't feel bad about that. That's what smart people do. I offer a 30-minute complimentary conversation. So if you hop on my calendar, I won't try to sell you anything. I will tell you what I do. I will research you before I meet with you. I will add massive value. And there's a 50% chance I won't even let you hire me anyway. I don't need money like that. So if you meet with me, I don't charge for 30 minutes. Make sure you show up on time. I wait 2 minutes and then cancel. I don't reschedule. I don't care if your kid has asthma or whatever. 30 minutes, and it'll be about massive value. And you'll be able to see my presentation. And even if you don't hire me, which is fine, operate with intention. Don't be concerned with the outcome. You can take what I present and incorporate it to how you show value for your own business.
I love it. I think everybody should take advantage of that 30 minutes. I think I'm going to do it. I think you, Sajad, and I need to do a little 30-minute complimentary session swap. Mine's called the Get Results Now session. We can just kick each other's asses in separate sessions. I love that. I love people who are ass kickers. Too many people just toe the line in business and are just nicey nice. And I have found that sometimes, have you ever tried to kick your own ass, y'all? It doesn't work unless you're a yogic master and you can wrap your legs around your head. You can't kick your own ass. So that's what you get, not a fake business coach. You don't get your fake ass business coach. You get the real deal. And definitely Sajad is the real deal. Hey, thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful interview. Good Lord, we went almost 55 minutes. And those of you who cut out of here, well, you're dumb. You missed out.
That was dumb. I appreciate the opportunity very much.
I think you froze, but I think you just said thanks.
I said I appreciate the opportunity very much. That's what I said.
All right. Awesome. Hey, everybody, get out there and make a difference. Kick some ass today in your business. Have a business, not a hobby, if that's what you want. Thanks again. Ciao for now.